Make some of this fabulous fudge. I'll show you the ingredients you'll need, and it turns out really well. It only takes about 10 minutes. So a tin of carnation condensed sweetened milk, 397 grams, half a block of butter, 125 grams, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and sugar is caster sugar and it's 375 grams. Now we're going to put it all in together. You can see what I'm doing here, just cutting the butter into small sections. I've put the butter in. I've opened the condensed milk, but I put a tissue underneath because sometimes it drips down the side. In goes the condensed milk. So there we go, we've got the butter, the condensed sweetened milk and the caster sugar all together. Now we're not going to stir it, we're going to go straight in the microwave with it. Right, this microwave is a 900 watts and I'm going to do it 1 minute at a time. I'll need a big heavy spoon. This is a strong spoon but it's a bit short, and this is a long handled one that I'll need later on. Well, that's the first minute. I'm just going to stir it around. Try and hold the camera at the same time. And then I'm going to pop it back in for another minute, just using a spoon rest in between. Now while that's doing the second minute, I'm going to put some parchment or baking paper to line this. There we go. I've pushed it around the edges. Now I'm just going to stir that again. Now it might be a good idea just to draw 9 circles to represent 9 minutes and just cross out each one. So we've done 2 minutes, it's now in for its third. Now this is what it looks like after 3 minutes. You can see it's all melted down. I've just got to stir this more and pop it back in for another minute. Once the 9 minutes are up, and after I've added some vanilla extract, a teaspoon of that at the end, I'm then going to pour it in here and then just basically let it cool down to a decent temperature, then pop it in the fridge to set further, and then cut it into cubes like that. You're going to get all these bits as well. Very nice, won't last very long because it's very tasty. So all in all it will have taken you about 20 minutes. You can see it's in for its final 2 minutes. Now I'll just show you what it looks like in the microwave because it really does bubble up and boil up. I've also got the vanilla extract ready. I think I've got a little bit more than a teaspoon there, but it doesn't matter. You can see the spoons are looking like the setting, you know. These bits look like they're quite sticky and setting. As you can see there, it's very bubbling, very dangerous. So keep any kids away when you're cooking this. It smells a bit like semolina as well. As you stir it, it goes back down. Now, if you notice, the bowl is quite a big bowl as well. Just about fits in the microwave. So be very, very careful at this point. Even put some protective gloves on. And eyewear if necessary. Because this is like bubbling lava. So we're going to go in for the last minute. And that bowl is quite hot. So once I've taken it out of the microwave after its last minute and given it a stir, I'm going to continuously stir it for quite a while till the liquid or the lava kind of consistency starts thickening up. Now it takes quite a while before it starts cooling down, so you're supposed to whisk it briskly, but it's kind of hard work is that. So just let it cool down, just do it nice and slow. And then once we're satisfied it's thickening up a bit, and that can seem to take forever, then we can pour it into here. Sorry, we'll put that vanilla extract in first, whisk it in, and then pour it in here. So we're done with the last minute now. That was 9 minutes. Just make sure it is quite hot to handle, but anyway, the bowl isn't too bad, just about tolerable heat wise for me to pick up and hold the camera at the same time. So you can see there, say it smells sweet, very semolina like, semolina. So So even at this point it's a little bit thicker. So I'm going to carry this into the kitchen. Ooh, that is a bit hot on my fingers. And I'm going to carefully stir this now. You're supposed to do it briskly, but just be careful if you do that. Watch how the spoons turn. Make sure it doesn't splash back at you. So you can see I did the 9 minutes. I found if you turn the concave part downwards, it seems to be a bit safer. It's less likely to splash back at you. I think this is fairly brisk considering I'm doing it with one hand and holding the camera. Now I've been stirring it for, I don't know, about a minute or so. So I'm just going to put this vanilla extract in and stir that in. Now you watch it change colour. Actually it bubbled as well. Ooh, be careful of that. Ooh, it'll splash back at you. And it will probably help it cool down a little bit as well. So I've got more or less nearly a tablespoon rather than a teaspoon in there. You can see it's gone a bit darker, like a light brown. And it's going a little bit thicker. You can start sticking to the sides. I don't want it to go too thick, because that's too cool and it'd be hard to pour out of this bowl. Kind of push it away from me like that. Seems to be a good way. As it's cooling down, you can kind of see the surface. It takes on this matte appearance. The shine goes off, like forming a skin. Of course you don't want it to form a skin, but that's like an indication that it's getting cooler. At this point, I've been doing this for a little while now, a few minutes, the edges around here, where it's a cooler, is starting to get quite sticky and hard to scrape off like I thought. You can scrape it off, but it's getting cooler obviously. And the consistency or the viscosity is now beginning to get thicker. It's a slow process, but that's still good enough to be able to pour in. So I'm going to stir it for a little while longer. As you can see there, it's still quite thinnish. As you can see there, I'll just that's going to pour okay, but I can't hold the camera and pour at the same time because I need to scrape it out fairly quick because it kind of cools off around the sides, and I want it to go in here level. So I'm going to pour it, then show you. There we go. It's levelled off after pouring it in. Smells very nice when you do this. Because I live in Halifax, as a kid, Rowntree's Macintoshes used to be here in Halifax and used to sometimes get this smell as you approach the town centre. Very nice. Anyway, the only problem you've got here is if this is your first batch, you can be impatient to want to try a piece, but in a few minutes that's going to cool down, so you can scrape that and try that. Let it cool down proper though, be patient. But once you've done the first batch and you're on to your second, don't let your cubes run out before you do your next batch, and that way you've got them all ready for eating. Anyway, when that's cooled down, I'll just run a knife through it and cut it into cubes. So thanks for watching, subscribe, click on that like button. Cheers.